Okay, good morning everyone. It is Thursday, June 24th, 2021, and we're going to get started with the pre-market analysis here for the S&P 500 futures. So let's go ahead and jump to our ultra-high time frames here. I guess right before I mention that, I do want to point out that in the overnight session here, we did push right up into 54 quarter, which actually is a pretty interesting level. If we look back to where the market found resistance back when we pushed to the all-time high on looks like just around June 15th. The night before that, if you look here, we pushed right to 54 quarter, pulled back, bounced at 48 quarter, pushed back into 54, pulled back right into 54.50, pulled back, pushed up above 54 quarter there, and then pulled back right to 54 quarter and bounced, trying to go push and make a new all-time high, and then they started to sell off from there. So today, look where, or in the pre-market overnight here, look exactly where we pushed to 54 quarter, pulled back, pushed to 54.50, had more resistance, and then could not continue to push, and pulled back and bounced pretty much at 48 quarter here, one tick below it. So looks very much like when we pushed to all-time highs a few weeks ago. So with that being said, let me jump to our ultra high time frames, and we'll get started here. So let's look at the quarterly, looking very strong. Remember a few days ago, after the sell-off, this candle looked pretty bearish. Right now, looking bullish again. This closes in August, so we do have another month to go here before this candle closes, so the story could change. But off of the previous bar here, no indications of exhaustion. Same situation on the monthly. On our weekly here, remember I said yesterday that if we can break the all-time high, this candle before the end of the week, then we'll have a bullish engulfing candle here on the weekly. Which would be a pretty strong indication from a candlestick perspective. Of course, we do have to get through the all-time high, because right now we have a bearish indication from the all-time high, which led to this sell-off all the way down to about 41.2675. But now the bulls have jumped back in and we are recovering here. So right now the weekly looks pretty strong despite that bearish indication off the previous candle. And really, in an ideal world here, we need to break above that 58 quarter. On the daily, remember yesterday we didn't necessarily have any indications of bearishness, and so all we really had was the bullish indication off the low from the 21st, which I believe was on Monday there. So the low from Monday gave us a bullish indication here on the daily, and then we've been continuing to push here. And currently on this candle that closed yesterday, no real clear signs of anything outside of the fact that it was somewhat of a bearish candlestick. But in just the overnight session, we've already basically got a bullish engulfing candle to the right here. And so any bearishness that was here is gone now that we broke above the high at 48 quarter. That doesn't mean that it won't just go ahead and sell off. As I say pretty often, anything can happen. But right now things look pretty bullish from the daily, and we do have to wait until the end of the session for this to fully form and give us an actual signal. So not much to be said on the daily right now outside of that bullish indication from Monday's low. On the 4-hour, we do have an indication of some bearishness off the candle that closed at 3 a.m. And so we do have a bearish indication from 54 quarter, and it looks like we just broke it by a tick. But we're still seeing a bearish indication from an RVI perspective. We do have to give this candle another 50 minutes until it closes, so that signal could change by then, and this price could be way higher or way lower. So we'll have to continue to monitor this, but we at least have a indication here from this candle that closed at 3 a.m. of some bearishness up there. And then we did have this bullish indication in the Globex session that started yesterday afternoon. A little bit of a bullish indication there on the 4-hour, and we did get a push from about 42.30 to 42.53, 54, so over 20 points. So we'll have to watch this as well. So right now, somewhat of a bearish indication if we can hold below 54.25. We did break it by a tick, so this bearish indication might not hold here. On the 60-minute, looking at the overnight, right around where I saw the bullish indication on the 4-hour here, don't necessarily see anything too bullish there. I do see from the previous daily low definitely some indications of bullishness there, and again we did get that. That might be where the 4-hour actually was getting that indication, so right around 30.50, and then we got the push again for over 20 points. So we did kind of get follow through on that indication on the hourly and the 4-hour, and now you can see we're up here holding above the previous daily high at 48.25. And just looking at in the current area here, don't necessarily see anything too bullish necessarily. I do have that one bearish indication off of the high that we made at what's that number, 54.50. So that one little tick higher gave us a bearish indication here on the 60-minute. And then remember, if we go back to the 4-hour, we did have that bearish indication as well. Let's go down to our intermediate time frames and see if they're agreeing with anything that we've seen so far. And going to the 30-minute, we did have the bearish indication up here off of, again, 54.50. So 54.25, 54.50 gave us bearish indications, I believe, starting from the 4-hour going down to the hourly, and now on the 30-minute. And looking at here, we do have a nice bullish indication off of the test of the previous daily high, so we could see some type of follow through there. When I look back to my 60-minute, when we came down to test the previous daily high at 48.25, I don't necessarily have a really strong bullish indication there, outside of the fact that, yeah, so that's pretty much it. We do have a bullish indication on the 30, but unfortunately from a 60-minute and a 4-hour perspective, we don't necessarily have agreement right there. And then the 10-minute also had that bearish indication off of the 54.50 high over here. Super bearish looking wick there as well. And then we did have some bullish indications that Newbie pointed out this morning, right around here. And then maybe even when that 10-minute candle closed, there was a little bit of a bearish indication there as well. But there was no follow through there on that indication. And now we pulled back, and I really don't see a strong bullish indication from the previous daily high over here like we did see on the 30-minute. So this is the only time frame giving us a bullish indication from there, with no nice agreement on other time frames. So not necessarily a strong confluence of signals over here outside of that bearish indication off of the overnight high. So the overnight high at 54.50 has bearish indications from the 4-hour pretty much all the way down to the 10-minute. And then you can even see it on the 3-minute chart. So if we bring the 3-minute up really quickly here, you did have the push higher with a push lower on the RVI. So every time frame gave us bearishness up there. So if we can get through 54.50 here into the open, then that will negate all of those bearish indications, and we'll have more of a bullish bias, keeping in mind that the all-time high is right up here at 58.25. So we need to get through that as well. That could be a problem. So that's kind of where we stand. Really not all that much going on right now.